A wild radio appears at my home, and I'm at a loss. Where did it come from, and who sent it? I got a message on Discord shortly after receiving it. Ominous. And yeah, I don't know what it is other than it's a talk pod.
Okay, this is a Talkapoo. A Talk Pod on 146.58, and we're going to see what kind of spurious emission it has on my Keysight $50,000 new spectrum analyzer. So what that says is true, and so is this. The sweep is about a second and a half, and it's going to come through. There's the fundamental. There's the next noise. There's another one. That's that one. That's that one. This isn't even legal in Afghanistan.
Truth be told, I've had this for a couple of months. I'm way behind on making this video. I apologize. But yes, that is a TalkPod, but it's definitely not the TalkPod you expect. In fact, it is part of TalkPod's LinkPoon. Yes, that's the real name. System. A new era for amateur radio. What the heck is this thing? And I guess let's talk about it. Now, I am not new to the world of TalkPods. In fact, I have this one, my first TalkPod. And yeah, it is the dirtiest radio for spurious emissions I've ever reviewed. And I had to get the prison version of it as well. And yeah, it's also very dirty. But these are VHF, UHF radios. And that's not what we're talking about with this. You can already tell there's some funkiness going on. Let me turn this off for a second, and let me show you what's going on. So it's powering off. I'm going to wait for the battery yank. Battery yank commence. So when you take the battery off, what? This thing's got a SIM card. Yeah, and it does for, I don't know, $10 a year? I could be wrong. I'm overlaying the screen right now. This gives you a POC level radio, and you're thinking to yourself, Josh, you kind of didn't say good things about this. Ah, yes, because of the implementation. This is different. Now, I'm still not going to say this is anywhere near the same as an amateur radio, so go ahead and not be surprised by what you're hearing here. It's still not an amateur radio. But what this does is it allows you to type in a channel, right? So a number sequence of some kind, right? So let's go to group B, and I can just select any one of these groups. These are like channel numbers, and I can just type anyone in. Let's see. Let's add one. So 420000. Will that work? It did. Nice. So let's enter that group. Yeah, it's right there. That's crazy. So now if I'm on this channel, I show up as one other I'm just the only person. I'm transmitting there right now. Hi, how's it going? I'm on the LinkPoon. And yeah, that's all this is you have the ability to talk to other people. It turns out there's 8 people in this chat, and it does radio things over cellular, which could be value added, and let me try to explain why. Now, I generally have the same opinion of this radio as I did with other push-to-talk over cellular type devices. It's not ham radio, but it is a radio, and it has some use cases, some value. The value with these LinkPoons is that you buy the radio from TalkPod, and you buy a matching SIM card, and they're good for however many years that you have the service, and it's cheap, and it allows you to do PTT, two-way communication. Very, very simple. The value of this, though, is that you can program any channel you want, and sure, some of those channels are going to have people on it, but it doesn't look like the service is that busy right now. So you largely have just kind of a private communication system, albeit, completely open. You can't go in and privatize any of the channels. It's just what it is what you're seeing. And it sounds decent enough that I've talked to a couple people. Again, no call signs required. This has nothing to do with amateur radio, but it is an avenue of communication that I thought was interesting enough that I would make a video about it. This is Josh. How you doing? I'm seeing if I can hear somebody out there. It sounds like you're coming through pretty good. Is he actually there?
Roger. I didn't get the call there, but you got the 218-623 here on the East Coast. Personal name here is Dan. Over.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Dan. This is Josh. You sound real good here into Southern California. Thanks for. I think this is probably the second person I've talked to on this radio.
Good copy on that, Josh. Nice to meet you, my friend.
All right, well, thank you very much. I'll just leave this thing running and be monitoring on the background. Thanks again for coming back.
On one, and then the 446 on the other one. That's what I do most of the time anyway.
Okay, copy that. So 446000 and 146520, most active channels on the old Link Poon here. So copy that. Yeah, I will be adding that to my list. Thanks again. Let's look into this menu system a little bit. So if you go to the square button, there's a group A and a group B. You can change these to whatever you want, add a group, whatever. So let me go back. Call logs, though, you can see every time you made a Link Poon call out. And this includes people coming back that you heard. This was Ralph that he copied me. Another person that copied, and just people I heard in the background as they were Link Pooning it up. And yeah, they're using their call signs, which is kind of interesting. At least that's close to a call sign. That's the same guy. Now under settings, very simple. You got a screen off, timeout timer, operating mode, A/B sync. We're not doing that. Although, what is that? That's obviously not for me to figure out today. And then you can turn off things like tone, send tone, end tone. You can select what you're doing. In this case, you got a couple of different options. Ooh, I kind of like that. Geez, there's a lot. There's an ICOM. Let's go with magic. Oh yeah, that's the one. And then shortcut keys, you can set the two side buttons. So this one right now has group info, and this is the keypad. So let's go back and take a look at that really fast. That's my group. Hey, look at that. Okay. And that's the call log. Interesting. I don't think that's what I set, but hey, never mind that. And then under About, this is where you actually program your call sign. So you don't have to use your call sign, but oh, my login account, great. That's probably info I've lost forever. Let's see. This is an N39 Plus model radio, in case you were curious. There is my EMI number, so that's lost forever. And then my card looks like it's got a good length of time in front of it. Looks like it's about 1 year when the SIM card's good for. I guess that's telling how long I've had this thing. Now, there are a ton of radio companies that are POC, right? Push to talk over cellular. And they have interesting marketing tactics. I will not name any companies because some of them like to send you nasty letters and say how you need to go change your views about their service. Anyway, they're also really expensive, and the service is not necessarily cheap, even though, yes, I know you pay up front, you get a couple of years out of it, blah, blah, blah. The service for this is relatively inexpensive. The last time I checked, it was like $9. I'm overlaying the price right now because I can't be bothered to look it up while making this video. I apologize. But the use case here is interesting. If you had a couple of people that get these, people you actually know, and you made your own group, right? And maybe you had a couple of backup groups or something like that, and you just emailed each other what those group numbers were. You could just talk to them very inexpensively over these devices, and you'd be saving, I think, a pretty decent chunk of money. For people who actually want to talk to each other and you're okay with a PTT option, this is an incredibly inexpensive way to stay in contact. It's way cheaper than a cell phone plan from what I can see, and yeah, there's a initial cost of entry with regarding the Link Poon devices over at TalkPod. But other than that, you have a lot more control because you could just change channels whenever you want. And you could still talk to randos as well, which has, I guess, a certain type of value if there's a community you can find on here, which maybe I haven't because I just haven't stumbled onto the right number. Now, I will just go ahead and say, henceforth, if you want to use 444555 on Link Poon, that will be the unofficial official HRCC Link Poon number. Sure, why not? And so that's where I will be in the future, pooning it up. So you can find me over there. Yes, I know it's it's a transparent radio. What can I say? You could take this for what it's worth. I found it interesting enough to make a quick little video like this to talk about it because, yeah, it is doing something different in a space that I think a lot of hams look at that and go, oh my God, I'm so tired of these devices. Yeah, yes, but at the same time, this is I'm less pained by this. I'm less upset by it. Is it because I can literally just go change a channel anytime I want, and I don't have to contact somebody to make a use group and try and bring all these radios together? Yeah, the convenience is off the charts. It's also not private, but then again, I don't even know that the POC over cellular. POC over cellular, right? That's great. Those POC radios, I don't know if those are private either. So, take that for what it's worth. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. The old link poon. There'll be links in the video description. I will be on channel 444555. And that's it. 73 from me, Josh, KI6NAZ. Not ham radio, though. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It has nothing to do with the amateur era. We're living in the amateur era. These are not amateur radios. Still interesting, but there you go.